All right.
Good morning, Mr.
Morning, sir. So this is the session for the course 233, section 2, on September the 25th. And oh gosh. Sorry, internet issues. Hopefully that won't be what we're going to be dealing with during the whole class. Okay, right here. So I can see Macarena. Good morning, Macarena.
Good morning, Professor.
I'm inviting the rest of the gang. I can see some of them here. Get some suggestions, but in general, I'm calling Catherine, Javiera, Alexandra, but I don't know why the rest of the students who are supposed to be part of this section do not appear here in the list of participants or suggestions. So I'm only able to invite the ones that are being suggested in this list. Javiera, good morning, Emilia. Good morning, Katia.
Good morning, Professor. How are you?
I'm pretty good. A bit cold, but pretty good. How about yourself?
Yes, it's cold today, but I'm good too.
All right. All right. Yeah. Good morning, Valentina. I can see Catherine Maduran as well joining us today.
Hi. Morning.
Hello. Morning. For today, the idea is that we can review some of the tasks that hopefully you finished. If you have not finished them, I mean, you can still work on them and maybe show them next class. But the idea is, as you remember, I posted in the Teams section for this course that you had to use 15 suffixes and use these words that contained the suffixes in a longer context, in a sentence, basically. Okay, and then we're going to see some analysis. We're going to describe the sentences, but you're welcome to volunteer and share the exercise. Remember that the format was not very important. It could be a PowerPoint presentation, a Word, an Excel, spreadsheet, any format, okay? So the idea is that you share your sentences and we can analyze examples. You can read them all, or you can read some and you can ask your classmates to participate and read them for you, okay? And basically, the more you interact, I think it would be better for the class. So who's willing to start sharing the sentences or the task that was given last session? I'm going to stop sharing. So the one volunteering will have the opportunity to share. The message I posted in the Teams is the one that I'm going to post in the chat box. That was the message. Okay, so by including these examples, the idea was that you could contribute to the class. By sharing them, you're also going to interact with your partners. The more examples we see, the more familiar we're going to become with how words in English receive in different syllables, right? The stress. So that's basically the idea. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to start sharing a presentation that has to do with syllabus and lexical stress. And after the break, if anyone is interested in sharing the task, you can do so, okay? So we're going to start with this presentation, which contains some aspects related with syllables and specifically lexical stress at the end, okay? So let's get started with this presentation. I think we already covered this before, some slides, didn't we? Oh, haven't we covered this before? Yes, no?
The stress placement, I think we saw a little bit of it,
Yes.
but with another presentation.
With a different presentation. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get this one, see if it adds more information or if it clarifies what we already know. Carlos, do you have a working microphone? Can you read aloud the slide that you're seeing now, hopefully? Mr. Carlos Badilla? Let me check the chat box. No message. Below Carolina Nostrosa. Carolina Nostrosa, do you have a working microphone so you can read aloud the slide?
Yes, Professor, I can.
Thank you so much. Anytime you want.
Okay. Stress placement. The stress in words is placed in syllables rather than individual vowel and consonant phonemes. For example, the noun inside and the verb inside have identical phonemes. The difference in their pronunciation is the stress placement on the first or second syllable. Inside, where marks the start of the stressed syllable.
Sorry, it took me a while to get the microphone on. That's right. That's right. So whenever we think about stress, we need to think about the syllable and not the vowel sound on which we place the stress. It's a whole syllable that it's more prominent than the other ones. And whenever we have two syllables or more, we always need to make the decision about which one is the one that we're going to make more prominent. And this decision has an impact on communication because the listener will expect that we say, for instance, individual, and not individual or individual. Placement in the title, right? Placement and not placement. If the stress shifts to a different syllable, will create problem of miscommunication, or eventually the listener will focus more on the errors in terms of pronunciation than on the real message that we want to convey. Okay, and an example that Carolina read. So remember, not on individual vowel or consonant phonemes, right? Phonemes, but on the whole syllable. And the example read by Carolina were inside and inside. If we take a look at the phonemes are exactly the same, and the only difference is the primary stress where we place it. If we place it in the first syllable, we get inside. If we place it in the second syllable, we get inside. And that's very important because this small diacritic, right, symbol, which is the stress. In this case, primary stress, because it goes in upper position, shows which syllable is the most prominent. That's the symbol related to or conveying this phonological information. The stroke will represent the most prominent syllable. Or in other words, which syllable is the loudest in this case, the highest in terms of pitch, or the longest, right, of the rest. We have another, let me see if I can get rid of this. No, I cannot get rid of this. Anyway, I would like someone's help for this section, for this slide. I'm going to ask Catalina Salcedo. Catalina, do you have a working microphone? Can you help me out reading aloud this section, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Some differences between languages in the occurrence of sounds can only be stated in terms of the syllable and its structure. For example, the sounds H and J occur in English and many other languages. However, in English, H can only occur at the beginning of a syllable, as in help, behave, and behave.
Thank you so much, Catalina. That's right. That's right. Thank you so much. When we think about these sounds, the sounds and the sounds as in hello or hi, and as in the end of sing, song, right? They happened or occur in many languages, not only in English. Okay, but in English, there's a constraint, there is a restriction. The sound can occur only at the beginning of a syllable. That is, in other words, it can be only the onset of a syllable. It cannot go in the coda. Okay, so in the case of help, we have a one syllable word. Help is just one syllable. It is one word, but at the same time it's one syllable. We can notice this because there's only one vowel sound in help, which is always going to be the nucleus or the peak. Whatever comes before the syllable is going to be known as the onset, right? And whatever comes after is going to be known as the coda, right? Now, this sound, help, is in initial positions. Initial position, as you can see, is part of the onset, just like in the next word, behave. Behave is composed by two syllables. We have two vowels, E in the first syllable and the diphthong A in the second one. So we have two syllables, right? And we still see the sound at the beginning of the syllable. That is before the nucleus. In other words, the onset. So in English, the sound will not go as a coda, but always as an onset. On the contrary, the sound as in song, the final sound in song or sing, will always be a coda. If we consider this word, sing, will always be, the last sound will be part of coda, will go after the nucleus. We won't find in English this sound in the onset of a syllable. But that's not the case of other languages. As far as I know, I think there's the word new in which is in Vietnamese, and that's in initial position or as the onset of the syllable. Okay, and in some Arabic languages, the sound will go as the coda. So in the case of English, there are some restrictions, and as in many other languages. Specifically, for these two sounds, the first one only will be part of the onset of a syllable, and the second one will only be part of a coda in a syllable. Okay, each language has its own restrictions. These are some of the restrictions that deal with English, right? We already know the components of a syllable. We might or should be familiar that a syllable is represented by this Greek symbol called sigma. So we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, or 6 sigmas in the syllable tree. This is a representation of and the rhyme is composed by the nucleus and the coda. Can rhyme, well, we can say that cat rhymes with flat, rhymes with that, rhyme pet, but it doesn't rhyme with take. How do we know that? Because there's no magic. Even though take has a nucleus and a coda, just like the other words, right? So basically, they have the same, almost the same structure, like CVC, consonant, vowel, consonant. So we can say that the first three rhyme because they share the same rhyme. Basically, they have the same nucleus and the same coda, right? They have the same nucleus and the same coda. That's why these words the same rhyme. At is present in cat, also present in flat, that, and okay. So the explanation from a phonological perspective, because they share, they have the same nucleus, or in other words, the same rhyme. Okay. And here we have a longer word, not just a one-syllable word. The word limit has, as you can identify, two vowel sounds. And as it has two vowel sounds, it has two syllables that we're representing here with the symbol sigma, right? Two sigmas, two syllables. And in the first syllable, we can identify that before the nucleus, we have the onset composed by only one consonant sound. Okay, and in the second syllable, we see the nucleus or peak, and before we identify an onset composed by one consonant, in this case, and the rhyme, right, composed by the nucleus and the coda, specifically the coda composed by one consonant sound, t in this case. That would be sort of the structure called syllable tree that many authors use to represent how a word can be divided into different syllables. Okay, now whenever we find in an online dictionary how a word is phonetically transcribed, we usually see syllabification or the syllable division represented by a dot here, right? Le, mit. That's sort of what we see in an online dictionary. Okay. Now, I would like your help for this section. I'm going to ask Constanza Ramirez to take, and this would be the third. Do you have working microphones? Constanza Ramirez, Constanza, Cristobal, and Daniel. Constanza, do you have a working microphone to read aloud the first paragraph? Let me check the chat box. Check the chat box. Check the chat box. No message. Let me see if Cristobal has sent any message. I usually receive the messages, then okay. Constanza doesn't have a microphone, and Daniel. Okay, my connection is also giving me a headache, Daniel. So I totally understand what you're going through now. Let's take a look at Darwin. Can you take care of the first paragraph? Emilia, the second one, and Aaron, the third one, if you're okay with that, of course. Darwin, Emilia, and Aaron.
Okay. The syllables that make up words are analyzed in terms of three positions. The minimal type of syllable is composed of only a vowel, example I, O. The vowel is therefore considered a central part of any syllable and is in peak position, also called syllabic, syllable, middle, and nuclear.
Before the vowel, there may be one or more consonants. For example, tie, sty, and this position is known as the onset, also called syllable initial or releasing.
After a vowel, there may also be one or more consonants. For example, I'll, I'll. This position is known as the coda, also called syllable final, offset, or arresting.
Thank you so much for those of you who participated. So this adds a little bit more information in terms of what we already know. We already know that we can refer to the vowel sound as present in a syllable as the peak or the nucleus, and what comes before as the onset, and what comes after coda. What comes before is going to be called onset, but we already know that they are only consonants, right? Consonant sounds. And what comes after, which we are going to be called coda, they're all consonant sounds, okay? Because there's only one vowel sound in a syllable. But we are adding this information. It could be in peak position or in syllabic position or in syllable medial position or nuclear position. And the onset can be in syllable initial position or releasing position. Okay, or releasing consonant. Releasing consonant is a consonant that is part of the onset. That is whatever comes before the nucleus, right, or peak. And coda, we can also call it that the sounds are in syllable final position, offset or a resting position, or a resting consonants also. Okay, so this in case you take a look at some authors, right, phoneticians, they can be using other concepts, not necessarily peak, onset, or coda. And at some point, whenever you're studying something, you need to decide which concept you are going to use so everyone agrees on calling the phenomena with specific names, right? So for this class, we're choosing to call it nucleus or peak, onset, and coda, not to get confused with any others, but you can find these in any other texts, okay? So this is sort of a clarification. In this syllable, we have the syllable structure, okay? Whenever we find a word, there's a syllable structure. For example, we have several examples here. We have I. I is basically one word, one syllable word. I. It doesn't have any onset. It doesn't have any coda. So how can we describe this using a sort of a formula? Okay, describe this structure. We can write 0 onset, 0 coda, and just so zero consonant, a vowel, and a zero coda. Or basically, we can just use this, a V for vowel, because I is a diphthong that we're going to consider one unit, right? The next one is isle. Isle has a peak or nucleus, followed by a coda. So we can use this to describe it, or just this vowel, consonant. Isle, isle, right? The next word is tie. Tie, we have a nucleus or a peak. Before we have the onset, and we have no coda, zero coda. So we can use this structure, consonant, vowel, zero coda, or just this, consonant, vowel, to make it simpler, right? The next example, we have tile. Tile is composed by the nucleus, the onset, t, and the coda, l. And we can describe this using this formula as CVC, consonant, vowel, consonant, right? Consonant, vowel, consonant. In the case of isles, we don't have any onset, we have a nucleus, and we have a coda composed by two consonant sounds. So we can use this structure, VCC, vowel, consonant, consonant. Again, vowel, consonant, consonant. For the word sty has an onset composed of a cluster of consonants, basically, well, two consonants, and a peak. And this can be described as this. Or, let's simplify this. We have a consonant, and a vowel. Okay? In the next one, style, we have an onset composed by two consonant sounds, a nucleus, and a coda. Right? And we can describe this by saying we have a consonant, vowel, consonant, syllable structure. Okay? The thing is, okay, we're going to finish this. Tiles. Tiles is also a one syllable word with one nucleus, an onset, and a coda composed by two consonant sounds that we can see here in this structure. CVCC. CVCC. And in the final example, styles, again, we have a nucleus, we have an onset composed of two consonant sounds, and a coda composed of two consonant sounds as well. So we see the structure CCV, CC. CCV, CC. Okay. Is this clear? Did I go too fast? Is clear how you can use this sort of formula to describe the syllable structure? Is this clear? Because we are going to have some exercises. I mean, just one exercise to test this thing of the consonant sounds of the syllable structure. All right. So hopefully this is clear. The syllable structure, or how you can represent using this formula the structure of a syllable, or how a syllable is composed by these consonants and vowel sounds. Now, in the next slide, we're going to see four words to describe two concepts. These four words are used to describe syllables. Let me double check if my microphone is not muted. No, okay. The first two, let's start from the bottom, all right? We can say that a syllable is open or closed, okay? Open or closed. So we can say this is an open syllable, or this is a closed syllable. An open syllable, give me just a sec. Sorry, issues with my dogs. A syllable can be open if it ends in the nucleus and it doesn't have any coda. It doesn't have any consonant after the nucleus. That's an open syllable. Okay. For example, I don't know, if in the word no. No is a one-syllable word, and it ends in vowel sound, in a diphthong, no, and there's no coda. So that would be an open syllable. And if the word ends in a consonant sound, if a syllable ends in a consonant sound, that's going to be called a closed syllable. For example, in the word limit, right, limit, that we used in a previous slide, there were two syllables, right? The first one was li, and the second one was mit, right? And we can use a dot here to separate them. The first syllable, do you think it's open or closed? Is the first one an open syllable or a closed syllable? The same question for the second syllable. Is this an open syllable or a closed syllable? What do you think?
The first syllable may be an open, and the second one may be a closed syllable.
Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. All right. Remember, this is one word, but one word composed by two syllables, and we are analyzing this word from the point of view of the syllable structure. So exactly, the first syllable has an open. The first syllable is open, and the second one is closed. Exactly. The other concept that we can apply is the weight of the syllable. Yes, a syllable can have a weight. So we can talk about a heavy syllable or a light syllable. Okay? A light syllable will be considered a syllable that contains a short vowel sound. By a short vowel sound, I mean, for example, a schwa, a wedge or carrot, a trap, a short o. What else? A short I. All of these are considered like short vowels, right? So a syllable containing a short vowel, it's going to be called light. Okay, and a syllable that contains only one onset, one sound in the onset, and one consonant sound in the coda. They're going to be considered light syllables. Okay, and a heavy syllable, we're going to consider the one that has a branching rhyme, but also a branching onset, okay, in order not to create confusion. By branching, I mean more than one. For example, in this second case here, we have two consonant sounds after the nucleus. So this is going to be called a branching rhyme. Okay? And if we also have like something like this, right, we also call it a heavy syllable if it has a branching onset. Okay? Branching implies that it will have more than one consonant sound, 2 or 3, okay? Those are going to be considered branching onset or branching rhyme, right? Or coda, branching coda. And also a heavy syllable will be considered one containing a long vowel sound, which we're going to indicate like this. Long vowel sounds, if you remember, can be a as in car, o as in August, right? August. E as in greet, right? Greet. Long u and all of the, sorry, it got a little bit longer than what I expected. All of these that contain this color indicated that the sound is longer, right? All of these are going to be considered long vowel sounds, and they will be, whenever we find these in a syllable, the syllable will be considered a heavy syllable. Okay, so these 4 words, heavy, light, closed, and open, can be used to describe a syllable. Okay, so a syllable can be closed and heavy, or can be open and light. Okay, that sort of thing. And the previous slide referred to the syllable structure. So meaning that we could use the formula on the right to describe the elements that make up a syllable. Now let's apply this to a practical exercise, okay? So what I want you to do, okay, let's share this so everyone can see this empty Word document. Okay. So the instruction is basically that you're going to the syllable structure of the following words. Indicate if the syllables are heavy, light, open, and closed as well. Okay, so we're going to have 10 words, and the words are coming from you. So, Javiera Triviños, which word would you like to mention? Or which word would you like to analyze from the point of view of the syllable structure? Everyone is invited to participate, all right? 10 words.
I have to give an example.
Just mention one word. The first one that comes to your mind.
Movie.
Perfect. Movie. Anybody else? Another word? Maria Francisca?
Maybe cup.
Like C-O-P?
No, with you.
Okay, got you. Thank you so much. Natalie Rebolledo? Vanessa Núñez? Natalie, go ahead. Sorry. Natalie.
Dog.
Like D-O-G?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. Thank you. Vanessa?
Fly.
Like F-L-Y?
Yes.
Okay. Josefina? Josefina Cubillos?
Song.
Come again?
Song.
Like thanks, like this one?
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Any other volunteer?
Biology.
Excellent, biology. Any other volunteer?
Bonnie?
Pencil.
Pencil, and the other one was pony?
Yes, pony.
Okay, two more, please.
Ice.
Ice. Ah, ice or ice?
The second one.
The second one, all right. Ice with voiceless s. And the last one. Can I choose one? Do you mind if I choose one? Or is anyone interested? Maybe Miss Sofia Contreras, are you here? Can you give us a
Yes,
word,
I was
please?
thinking about a word, the word neat,
Okay, like N-E-E-D?
N-E-A-T, neat.
N-E-A-T. Okay, got it. I'm really bad. I'm really bad at spelling, and also,
No
I
worries.
yeah, I'm very bad at spelling. I can hear very well, and there's a lot of noise outside. So, three factors to make this horror movie case. Okay, guys. So we have 10 words. Okay, 10 words. For example, is that we're analyzing the word language. Okay, and the word language is a word composed by two syllables, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me at any moment if I'm wrong, all right? Or if you have a different opinion. So it's a word containing two languages. Sorry, two languages, two syllables, right? And in terms of the syllable structure, the first syllable, lang, is composed by, remember the thing about V, C, something like that? Let's focus on the first syllable, on this one. So what's the syllable structure that you can see in this syllable?
Consonant.
CBC.
Consonant, someone said C, and then?
BC. BC, yep.
Perfect. Excellent. And okay, and the second one?
C, C, B, C.
Do you all agree with this? Like, right?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
All right. All righty. Now, we are supposed to say if these syllables are open or closed, right? So what about the first one? Is it open or closed?
Closed.
Closed. All right. And the second one, which is it closed
Closed.
or open?
Also.
Closed.
Also
Okay.
closed.
All right.
Yes.
All righty. And the other part was, what was the other part that I forgot?
Light or heavy?
Light or heavy. Okay. So the first one is light or heavy. What do you think?
First one is light.
Okay. And the second one?
I believe it's heavy.
Heavy.
Okay, heavy. So this is basically the idea for the exercise. Okay. First, you refer to the syllable structure, you know, the CVC or CCVC. And then if the syllable is open or closed, or if it's light or heavy. All right. There's a message in the chat box. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to try to speak louder, but I think it's Daniel. It doesn't have to do with me speaking louder, but it has to do with the internet connection, I think. And my internet connection is not really behaving in the best way. This is a task. What time is it? It's 11:40. Okay, And we started at 10. So it's probably good for us to, what do you think? Would you like to take a break now? And then after the break, we can work on this? Or finish this and then have a break? Open to suggestions.
Maybe have a break and then continue with this?
Okay, sounds good to me. I mean, the rest is silent, so the rest has to, I mean, I think say yes, right? So that was Maria Francisca, right? Catherine?
Yes, I agree with the Francisca.
Perfect. So let's take
why not?
Yeah, okay. Why not? We deserve it, right?
Around the 11:40, sorry.
11:40. So about a 10-minute break. Is that all right with you? A 10-minute break? And yes. And then we'll resume. Yes. Okay. And then we'll resume the activity, okay? So enjoy the break, guys. I'm going to stop recording, and then I'm going to start recording again for the second part of this session. I'll see you in about 10 more minutes, okay? Enjoy the break.
Okay, teacher, you too.